Don't get me wrong.
I'm sick and tired of the negative, dark, divisive, dangerous vision and behavior of people who support Donald Trump. It's time for us to say no. We are not going backward.
And if you don't believe this is scripted to get your emotion boiling so you vote for a specific person,
Should never again stand behind the
but remember, this is a person that goes from anger to joy, as if they don't have two faces, and we need to trust her reaction. But it's all about being joyful.
Never let anyone take your joy from you. I call myself a joyful warrior. Right? Never let anyone take your joy from you. You do what you gotta do. And isn't that a wonderful way to live? To know you have purpose.
But at the same time, I want to tell her, blink if you're in danger, because you can be that angry and that joyful at the same time. Something doesn't click in my eye.
So a few weeks ago, I attended the Trump rally here in my town. Before I dive into what I'm about to share, here's a peek at that. Well, today I found out that Kamala Harris was coming to my town, so I decided to go. I wanted to see the differences. Notably, I had to show my ID to get in to see her. But anyway, I was making a video talking actually about how sad I was that the loudest cheering at the rather small event came in support of abortion, when I panned over to the crowd and to her speaking, and I caught something I wasn't expecting. Check it out. Not a lot of energy here, but everyone just cheered and screamed for killing babies. So that was disappointing. Anyway, here she is. Did you hear that? Some guy in the crowd shouted, "Jesus is Lord." And Kamala said, "I think you're at the wrong rally." And then she said, "Try the smaller one down the street." Everyone laughed and cheered, but I was at that rally. There were almost 7,000 people at it. Today they said there were 2,500. Nobody waiting. Open spaces. I wanted everyone who's a believer to hear that for themselves.
Again, we're not going to be gaslighted on this. We remember Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
I don't care about you. Go to the smaller rally.
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Would you ever do that to a Muslim? No. But it's okay to joke about Jesus Christ. Go down to the other rally because those are the believers. Bleh.
I don't think in our history, Barack Obama or Joe Biden included, no Democrat would respond in that moment the way that she responded.
100%.
You have to understand the gravity of that response. I don't know what she saw. I don't see the camera from the other angle. I don't know what she internalized. I don't know what she heard. I don't know if she heard Jesus is Lord. But that's what was said. And for you to respond, you're at the wrong rally, I don't care if all she thought was they were pro-life, to your point, Charlie. That is, in our past, in the history of America, a campaign-killing response.
Look at how the polls were back in the day 8 years ago with Hillary and Trump. He still won. don't believe these stuff. I wonder how most black people think about her still.
You don't want her to win the White House, but do you agree with how she performed in that interview?
I believe that interview was a masterclass in why there is a statistically significant amount of black men who are tired of listening to the media and done entertaining the Democratic Party. You listen to Kamala Harris talk about a plan for black America. They've rolled out a plan for black America. My grandfather told me a very long time ago, never trust a man who promises to do tomorrow what they had the power to do yesterday. If Kamala Harris was so committed to these plans for black men in particular, she's had many instances where she could have done these things as a senator, as an attorney general, and certainly in her capacity as a vice president. So I do believe that when you have that type of interview talking about a multi-trillion-dollar plan for reparations, all while we ignore the fact that California has already studied reparations, only for the Democrats that said they were committed to passing it to saying everyone actually going to write the check, black men are tired of what appears to be empty promises coming from a Democratic Party.
I mean, Joe, if you're honest with yourself.
I don't know why, but that felt very disrespectful.
Empty promises coming from a Democratic Party.
I mean, Joe, if you're honest with yourself, I'm sure there's some times where you would appreciate if your candidate would be more, quote unquote, scripted.
Why would I want to give a person that had the power to help me for so long ago and finally they're going to give her the reparation money to help me again? When, no. I'm not surprised black men are like, no, we done with you. We done with you. You lie too much.
Should never again have the privilege of standing behind the seal of the President of the United States.
You will never get the black vote ever again just because you're Democrat. Why would you campaign to copy some type of Christianity just to prove a point that you don't like them to get other voters? Aren't you trying to get a vote through hate by doing blaspheming or laughing at the other person's religion? Does that make any sense?
Time for us to say no. We are not going backward.
The business sector in the Arab American community. And I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, it's not obviously a significant sample size, but I cannot find one Arab American within my social circle in business or personally who have said that they will vote for Kamala Harris. When you look at the polling, it seems sort of neck and neck. What they are saying, and this is not a Donald Trump campaign line, that Tiffany Trump's father-in-law, who's a Lebanese businessman, has been successful in kind of converting and talking to people to explain why Trump would be better. Even with the Muslim ban, even with everything else that has happened, they feel they do not have any political clout. They don't have any political operation. The only political power they have is their vote, even if it means the rise of Donald Trump.
That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary.
It's not extraordinary. It's not that difficult. It's simple. You can't make a promise and keep breaking it over and over. Especially when you call sometimes black people are almost like Arab, they suffer slavery, bada bing, bada boom. But I look at black people and be like, if you treat them like that, why would I even want to be in your group?
You went on a podcast and said we have no troops fighting right now, but we have troops everywhere. How don't you even know where your troops is?
And she's the vice president.
She's the vice president. How don't you know where your troops are, bro? I got my cousins in the army, bro. My cousins in Iraq right now. Like, how don't you know where your troops is?
So how did they feel about that when she made that comment?
My cousin did ask when she made that comment. He felt disgusted for serving this country. Your VP don't even know where you are. Like, you make people feel bad because how are you getting sent somewhere and your vice president doesn't even know where you are? Oh, J. Trump, y'all already know. Go John Brandon, Joe Biden type shit. Kamala Harris, Donald Trump on top, 2024, baby. Come on now.
Imagine somebody is sending you to war, to fight a war that they started, but they keep talking about abortion. When somebody else is like, hey man, we need to be careful with the abortion and I'm not going to send you to war. How does that make sense? Why would you want to... People just vote for her for abortion. I'm like, they don't send you to war, right? It's wow. Like, wow.
I'm so proud to be from this city. You know, they say if Kamala wins, then the whole country will be like Detroit. Okay? Proud like Detroit.
resilient like Detroit.
Crime rate like Detroit, which is one of the highest in freaking America. How can you be that positive about the crime rate?
Right? Never let anyone take your joy from you.
Very simple. Being uninformed, uneducated, or purposely obfuscating people. And you might say, how do you obfuscate us? Very simple. Avoid them with sexy bodies. They'll forget. They're just black men. They like the body. From the one working eye that I have, it seems like the ladies were way more excited as the men. Yeah! I mean, if that's easy, like the video.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush, hash, purple, skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, turloqueta, verdeta, welcome.